Welcome, RPG Limit Freight fans, to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Fall Tournament 2023, Week 4, Race for a Whole New You. My name is Davian Hawk. With me today is Sonny Wrath with our tracker duo of Socket and Reckless Charlie and our restreamer Kumo. Sonny Wrath, what are we looking at with these interesting party members that these racers have to pick from?
So, welcome to week 4. This is Transmooglifier. So, you're going to notice that there are thieves, there are chocobos, there are scholars, all sorts of different things. And you might be going, well, what's going on here? So, let's go ahead and jump straight into these classes. The thieves, they're decent HP growth, decent attackers, fairly high agility, so they're going to be the runners of the party. But prior to promotion, they have access to up to level 2 status magic and equipment of light armors and very light weaponry. When they promote, they'll get heavy armor and up to level 6 black magic completely. Now, I don't see any Maguses, but the Scholars, these are big. Scholars have high MDef and access to all magic up to level 6 prior to promotion and level 8 post promotion. So those scholars, absolutely huge choice, especially when looking for specific spells such as fast, temper, cure 4, life 2, etc. And then the chocobo. Oh, I do see we have a fighter as well, so let me go over that real quick. Promotion gets up to level 7 white magic, equips heavy armor, night weapons, lots of HP, lots of MDef, pretty good hit percent. That's about it for the fighter. And that magic is promotion specific. Now the birds, the chocobos. These guys are the punch mages, or the pugilists, if you will. They have high HP. They have high hit percent. They're about middle of the pack on magic defense. But they do have a blessing that is absolutely massive. We'll have to see if it works or not. But that is Steel Lord. And what the Steel Lord blessing does is if the character is equipped with the steel armor, they are automatically given the fast status, which doubles the amount of hits. It does not stack with fast casts in and of themselves.
That is an extremely powerful. Normally you see that on the warrior or fighter when it comes to normal seeds, but let's see, the chocobo actually can wield that armor. Otherwise, it's a bit of a glitch to see it. We are fingers crossed.
Indeed, and we are off. And as you notice, the entirety of the inventory is full of lots and lots of goodies. There's Harm 3 at level 1 white magic, level 1 black magic, has Brack, Saber, and Stop. Brack super nice as it is an instant kill petrification based spell, poison element specifically. Life also at level 1 is
3. That's Harm 3 less value, but the life for sure. And I did notice they got a Quake Staff as one of their equipment items.
Earth Elemental instant kill, super nice to see. It is also area of effect. Now, one thing that I'd love to note here is that Papa Dux is running a solo chocobo.
This is daring, but very, very nice. And the instant quake, that's very happy. Level 4 chocobo.
But here's the thing with that chocobo. This allows for a lot of levels to be gained, potentially hitting level 50 without really any problems. A chocobo is going to be great for running, as its agility was actually fairly decent. And considering that it is effectively the black belt of the seed, it's going to get a lot of hits in almost no time.
Especially, one thing to note, we do have Tavern mode on, so instead of having the ability to revive your parties at the clinic, you can pick up more party members. So Papa Docs is not locked out of having more party members late down the line if he chooses to get more.
So the promotion for the chocobos, it really doesn't do anything. It doesn't affect them negatively. It doesn't affect them positively. They just turn into black chocobos, and that's about it.
See a sun sword coming out of that top left room for any of our characters can wield it. That is a pretty sweet weapon. Unfortunately, I think the fighter is the only one that can.
All right, Papa Duck's already heading into the pirates. There was the bottle, and I'm not
herb.
sure. Okay, the herb from the Royals. Thank you, Fabian. I do appreciate that. And a ruby coming in from Bicky.
And a cheap crystal. I could see the Quake staff getting sold for one of our runners that have casters. I don't think Papa Docs will do that. It's a lot of gold to be gotten, but oh yes, he has a bunch of extra gear otherwise he can sell. So I'm assuming he will get this crystal regardless.
Oh yeah, especially with those bucklers selling for almost or right under 1250. Like that is going to be more than enough to buy that crystal.
Money in hand, 9,000 is more than enough, as you said. So we will have a quick check with that crystal for Matoya's Cave, and then they can make hopefully a river run or what have you to the next pickup, because we do not have extended open progression. They'll at least need the canoe to get down to Elfland.
And as you can see already with Papa Ducks, that Chocobo is already at level 11. Now, with how high the hit percent is on the Chocobo, that does mean that hits come in much, much faster than they would if it were a black belt. So this is super beneficial.
Level 2 White Magic is coming in huge. Invis 2, Heal 3, Harm 4, Exit. And that is the ship coming out of Matoya, so that is access to the inner and outer sea, because we have both a free bridge and a free canal. The free tail for Papa Docs I doubt is going to get used, but I assume every other racer is going to be right there to Cardia.
Oh, probably. I mean, there are some parties here that are going to rely on promo. Case in point with those sages, if something rolls at level 8, that's going to be absolutely necessary. Oh, Dazzle coming out from these wolves, paralyzing Papa Ducks' Chocobo.
Unfortunately, Chocobos do not prevent you from getting encounters, as they are party members, not rides in this game.
And he is... Oh, damage poison coming out. Yikes.
Thank goodness for encounter manip and saving before getting off the ship.
Indeed. Into Elf Castle to turn in the herb. Let's see what happens here. That is the crown for the kindly old king of the Northwest Castle.
That's a pretty good time to find it. You really want to find these incentive items and quest chains local to where they are and sooner than later, because with each incentive item they get, that's a 10% increase in their XP growth. And for Papa Docs with the solo racer, solo character, that's 10% more on top of already high relative gains. And that is the key coming out of Astos. So if we get the kill, that is huge.
But unfortunately, he's not doing too terribly much damage. When he does get a crit, he is doing a decent amount, but I don't think he's going to be doing enough to take down Astos. But this Chocobo might prove me wrong.
If he can get 74 a crit and get multiple crits, that's pretty good. That's another crit, but ooh.
Astos crit right back.
Too.
Oh, with 4 HP, a punch for 45 terminates Astos. That is the Mystic Key.
Not going to bother checking those 3 chests. Oh, he did not save before moving out. Oh, this could be bad.
It matters not, because save on game over.
Oh, I did not realize that was a thing, and appreciate it. And that's, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was a thing either until, I died on Sunday.
Peasants going to be our first racer to promote also has a chance to pick up the incentive item I believe we have in Cardia Isles out of the incentive, or the Cardia Horde we have here enabled this time around.
And it's the loot. That's pretty big.
That is the other end game item needed to get into Topher and onto Chaos, other than the key, which we now know comes off the Crown and Astos. With that key in hand, Papa is back on the water heading towards Canaria to check Canaria locked.
Indeed. And that is a big find for peasants, but it is definitely something that I think Papa Docs will find before too terribly long. But first things first, gonna go check the locked Canaria chest to see what resides within here. Could it be the canoe?
It'd be, I'd assume, the canoe or something that can get us to it. But we already have the ruby. That is the chime. That is halfway into sky. So with that ruby, we have Titans and Sarda to check after this.
Now, one thing you may have noticed is that the blessings on the weapons and armor are actually going higher than what we've had throughout the tournament. During the last week, we didn't have any on because of Weapon Crafter doing, well, Weapon Crafter things. It's quite a strong flag. But this week, considering that, you know, some of these classes might underperform compared to their vanilla counterparts, of course, vanilla in air quotes, the high end of the weapons got increased up to 6, as well as the armor. Wildham picking up the Mystic Key from Astos as Herbie is in Matoya's. Peasant sitting in Elflin, and Papa Duck's about to show us what is within the Titan's Tunnel.
That is a well-placed rod, and one thing to note, we have been having special extra point incentives during each of these races. Today's is they must talk to 10 bats in Earth Caves, so good proximity for Papa Docs. Just go ahead and mosh that out, get some extra points, and deal with the Earth Fiend.
If this Chocobo can handle the Earth Fiend right now, because as it stands, these tigers are doing some damage.
You've got wolves and you've got tigers that both stun parties, and the tigers just happen to have flash and other irritating things on them. And it looks like Wildham is going to be our first runner actually going into Marsh.
Let's see what this Marsh Cave has, as Herbie is going to go ahead and pick up Fade here at level 3.
Yeah, Peasant's making good use of Fade on his kill of Astos, getting that key.
And that is also a Cure 4.
Wildham picking up 26,000. Very happy to see that. And I missed what the Sarda had, but he's running away from it, so I'm guessing it was nothing.
It was a Mausoleum +3 that Papa Ducks just decided to pass up on.
Oh geez, that is absolutely not nothing for everyone except him. He just saved the running, and honestly, if he did end up picking up another character, he'd probably do so after he had the airship, and he can quickly go back and get it. But yeah, save the steps right now and just warp out of that.
So we have the Waterfall pack here in Marsh, and it's giving Wildham the business right now.
His
But Wildham responds with a lit 3 and gives it the business in return. To pick up the adamant.
Yet another quest chain item that is in good proximity.
Definitely not the closest proximity due to lack of the canoe, but also not something that I would call the end of the world.
Indeedly do. Peasants fighting that same pack now, runs away, gets the adamant.
Alright, exit cast. Peasants is out of there and ready to run away to turn in that adamant. Ham almost to Elflin. And now it'll probably be heading over towards the Dwarven Cave in order to turn in that adamant.
Herbie B picking up his level 4 magic, did check with the hint giver there and saw the hint for Sarda having that Masa Moon. I'm assuming he will be happy to grab that because his party does have a fighter who can swing it for good effect. Meanwhile, Papa Docs is on to Crescent, going to be our first race we're checking. I love this divergence of routes so early.
It's a very big and significant divergence of the routes. Papa Duck's jumping out of the item shop, checking to see how many heal pots need to be bought, topping off heal pots, and buying some houses just so that way he does have full heals at the ready. Life 2 here at level 4 White Magic. That is a big find for everyone except for Dux. And that's TNT coming in from the Circle of Sages. So if Dux decides to go back and hit Marsh Cave, that will actually give him both turn-ins just at the same time.
I don't think he'd go Marsh before going to turn in the TNT, unfortunately, but we shall see. I am not in the mind of the racers. There's a reason I'm in comms not racing myself. And that is the chime for Wildham coming out of that check, and then we will get our first shot at seeing what the Adamant has for Peasants.
As Dux is running back to the ship and is back on the water. Is the Adamant going to lead to the canoe, or is it going to lead to something else? And the answer is the Adamant's going to lead to the canoe, so Dux is going to have to go to Marsh Cave to pick up that Adamant, as Herbie is currently in Marsh Cave to do exactly that.
Having that early access to the loot is not as big a value as having access to the canoe.
Who canoe?
Canoe.
Now the question becomes, what is going to be held by Narek? As Wildham picks up the canoe as well.
At this point, I would not be shocked to see if it was the slab or maybe the oxyale.
I mean, this very well could also be the floater. However, this also means that floater could potentially be over in Ordeals. It is the oxyale. Good call on that one, Thavian.
I figured progression or a key item to get into a dungeon either way, but I'm really hoping that floater is an ice, just vanilla, just so we have to see them go ice.
You know,
I'm that kind of guy.
Personally, I like it.
Peasant's picking up his biggest of sticks.
The big ol' stick. And there's a stick for Wildham from the Titan's treasury, if you will. As Papa Dux is now heading over to the Marsh Cave.
Yep, and gonna be waving at Herbie B, who's on his way back from the Marsh Cave.
So Mazza in tow for Peasants. Peasants is soon to go to Crescent Lake going to pick up that TNT. But then the question becomes, where's Peasants going to go after that?
I could imagine Ordeals would be a reasonable play at this point, just to avoid the water system early. But, yeah, really the options at this point are Ice Cave or Water, or Ordeals.
I mean, if Northern Docks are on, that could also lead into a play of Waterfall.
This is true. I do believe we have the dock. We have the Canary or the Cardia dock. I don't know if we have the dock for Onrak Continent, but I haven't run the seed. Interesting. Wildham checking out the Earth Titan or tunnel or Hall of Giants, finding nightmares on the first tile.
Not a bad find for the first tile, but also not a great find. But the second tile is just giant and iguanas. That's a very, very vanilla encounter in the Hall of Giants.
Peasants picking up the TNT from the sages and finding worms. Blech. Wildham finding floor 1 is nothing interesting and heading right down to deal with the fiend.
Our tracker socket confirming that Northern Docks as well as the Bahamut Cardia Dock are enabled. So that does give the potential of said floater being within the waterfall.
What is it with this seed and stunning things? We have Caribs with stop.
We have gargoyles with stop.
Gargoyles with stop, Caribs with stop, stunning wolves and tigers.
Now you may notice that Chocobo is already at 6 hits and dealing a significant amount of damage. This is actually pretty good for Papa Ducks, and if he actually takes a death here, that's not going to be a huge issue, as since he's already picked up that adamant, that does save him the time of having to redive.
Yep, free exit cast, and it looks like Peasants is going Ice Cave, so we have yet to see what Ordeals has in store. We may still see someone go Ordeals, but at the moment we have Wildham in Earth about Fakes Vampire, we have Peasants going to Ice Cave. Looks like Herbie B is taking the water system towards Crescent and possibly Volcano or Ice Cave, and Papadox is out of Marsh heading towards that turn-in, both the TNT and the Adamant in hand. Will get his
Indeed.
canoe.
TNT got turned in earlier, did net the Oxyale. Now it's time to turn in that adamant, see what it yields, as Peasants has entered the ice zone.
Will ice be treacherous?
Always. Ham taking out the bats, trying to get that objective done quickly. All this dazzle early on is gross.
It's always nice to see the bats go down. I mean, that's what the NPC guillotine was literally introduced into the randomizer for. And in fact, one of the rooms in Earth 3 has bats that have been moved into it to get more of the bats off of the main floor.
Yeah, otherwise you were getting stuck left and right because of the bats.
Just those improvements of player experience. Wildham about to face our Earth Fiend for the first time. Look at get the first orb going, and that is a Saberbach coming out of ice. That means we do have a ice cave or a waterfall.
Either Ordeals or water. Yep. And that is going to be a bit painful for Papa, at least on Ordeal's side. On Waterfall side, it's going to be a little more painful because it is walking in, walking out. Blink and you miss it. Wild Ham takes down Lich to light that first orb. Under 20 minutes at that.
Very quick speed. We had access to the sea. We had access to promotion. Good parties. Papadoc's going to Cardia Isles. Going to go ahead and get the incentive item. Doesn't want promotion. Doesn't care about promotion, I would assume. I doubt he's going to really check any other chest.
Yeah, I see him only checking... Oh, nope, he's going to go ahead and check all these chests. Picks up the loot. So those are both of the in-game items that are really needed to complete the seed. There for Papa Ducks.
Yeah, at this point, it's the cube and the floater is all that is necessary to get into full go mode for Papa Ducks. Now from here, I assume he will make the shorter run to Ordeals, which is exactly where Peasants is going now that he knows that it is the most likely place. Whether he's I just realized Peasants' Thief and or Ninja is running backwards.
Yes, that is the backwards Mapman sprite.
Very much approved. Do we get Pillar 1, 2, 3, or 4? Get your votes in chat. I always go with Pillar 3 preferentially.
It's going to be Pillar 4.
I'm
with Socket. I am absolutely with Socket and Kumo on this. I like Phoenix's answer even more. Pillar 8. Phoenix, bud, this is why we all love you.
Every wrong pillar takes you back to the Pillar 4 room. There's some crazy pillar. Ooh, this is a a red dragon in Ice Cave, it looks like. Yep, that was on the drop down.
So it is not Pillar 1. Next up is Pillar 2. It is Pillar 2. Oh, but hits the Womp.
Does have a charge of warp.
Unfortunately for Papa Ducks, there is no warp, only Zool.
Very true. Does he go up or down? He went up. That's actually huge because down would have taken him back to the exit. We saw that with Peasants. So Papa Doc's second indoor deals, but first onto the top floor. At least Mummy Pack not doing him any favors, but that Quake Stick from the beginning is doing him all the favors. That is level 19 on his solo party member. 350 hit points almost, too.
And Papa Ducks actually hit that pillar that took him back to the start prior to Peasants actually getting there.
Ooh, a 6-pack of metal slimes. That is a really nice tile to see if you want to party grind, but not so great when you're solo. Good thing he gets away from that. Those hit pretty dang hard.
So very good question in chat. Why is Papa Ducks just a chocobo? Well, Dragon Hero, this is the Transmuglifier week of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Fall League. Of course, the theme being It Leagued from Beyond! And one of the classes that rolled with the Transmuglifier is it adds about 3 new classes to the game, and the class choices are procedurally generated, is the Chocobo. That is the floater coming in from Castle Ordeals.
I also picked up a gold ring plus, or gold bracelet plus 2, so that's an excellent armor upgrade for a solo party member.
Oh yeah, but since Papa Ducks has only chosen one party member, he chose to run with solely the Chocobo, which is a very powerful choice, as this Chocobo is probably going to get up to, I think, 12 hits actually.
Totally seeable. Now Papa Docs has access to the airship with the floater hand. He can go straight down, get that bottle turn in for the ferry. If that bottle turns into the cube, that does actually put him into go mode, but I think we do need to get the slab translated to get into full go mode, unless there's another non-critical incentive item that we had, like another power item, I believe. I think we had the rod
yes,
and the bonk.
The power stick is incentivized, but it is not going to be the power staff. Instead, it is going to be the roost stick. Papa Duck's coming into Ice Cave. Unfortunately, we know it's just going to be the Saber Bonk. Not super useful for really everybody else, but this actually could be quite useful for Papa Ducks.
Having no ability to cast Saber or Temper on his from another party member on his primary party member, it gives him a party member that can cast it on himself.
And Papa Ducks. English. But Thavian, how English?
Do be this. Wildham into Volcano, our second Fiend Dungeon scene, and he will be our second runner going for that orb, or first runner going for our second orb. I try a thing, say do thing, B.
Words are hard, okay?
Yeah, Peasants in Gaia actually going to check what that bottle has from Fairy, gives us the roost stick. So it looks like the slab turn into the cube from the waterfall is our final incentive item chain.
It looks like it is, but that actually would have been a good tile for Papa Ducks to go for the solo Chocobo grind in order to just net a lot of levels and be able to blast through most of the rest of the seed. But instead declines it.
Well, he doesn't have a warp option, so he's going to have to go through the entire cycle after the drop down. He still might get the incentive item and then take that grind.
You know, that's a big possibility as he comes up to the Hyena Ogre or Ogre Wizard Ogre tile, finds out that that's Saber Bonk, decides to forego it, and now it is time. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because it is time for the Chocobo grind.
Our red dragons tend to be evasive, but they are a very juicy experience, especially on a solo party member grind, and yes, indeed, he is straight on the grind. This is actually a safe grind spot. Not only does he have save on exit, so if he dies after this grind, he does not lose his experience. He can move up and down into that door without having any off-tile encounters, so this is purely red dragons until death or exit.
And at 8,994 EXP per red dragon, this is going to get a lot of EXP onto this Chocobo. But unfortunately, does get booted out before really getting a lot of levels, but that's not a huge deal, as Papadux is now going to pivot into the Gurgu Volcano. Wildham, though, go ahead.
There's a very good proximity play as Wildham finishes that out, gets the second orb lit, and Peasants in Waterfall trying to get that slab.
Peasants trying to get into go mode ASAP. I like the play.
Meanwhile, Herbie B is our second runner down onto Earth floor at the rod room.
At Rod Block.
Earth 4.
Earth 3.
You are correct. I am wrong. I tried to correct myself and make my own error. There's the slab coming out of the robot. That is one step away from go mode. Oh, actually noticing that Peasants has yet to get the Oxyale, so that is 2 items he will need to pick up. And a fast shirt. That is a huge find.
That is a massive find of the fast shirt for Peasants, as that's free fast.
Yeah, it's interesting. Papadux seems to be grinding these mummies with that quake stick. Don't know if he's going to keep this up for a while. Nope, he's going to keep it up.
At 5800 EXP, it's not the most efficient grind, but it is a grind nonetheless.
Really happens whether the quake can kill all but one or get all the kills. That way you can just follow it up with the punch.
Just
and
like
man,
that.
Is it punching?
It's already at 8 hits, and he is calling it good right there. I have a feeling that we're going to see Papadux take a few encounters in Sky, as those are extremely high value encounters to take.
Very true, and Peasants does take the airship over to Dwarfs, turns in to get the Oxyale, just needs to translate the slab and go to Lefane to get the cube, and he will be in full-on go mode. No orbs lit thus far, but with all the gear and temper and warp, we're at level 5. So
big find. All right, Papadux just cruising through Volcano as Herbie is here at Lich. I'm gonna open up with a fast and a fade. Mazza, 3 hits, 603. That's the good old high Lich by Lich that we all know and love.
Job done. Meanwhile, Wildham on the drop down after getting that Saber Bonk is going to check the other trap tile over here and see what's there. And it is the good eye. That could be a huge find. Heat. That's powerful, but not too powerful. And there is the big sticking swung for good power. I assume immediately into the eye grind.
Level 27 for Papadux's Chocobo. Definitely going to be doing some big damage here.
Now the question is, do we consider this a punch, a kick, or a peck out of that Chocobo?
All
three. Looks
three.
like it's punching.
No, it's just doing all 3, but the sprite we see are fists. And that's level 28 and the Fire Orb lit for Papadux, the good old high carry by carry, as we all know and love it.
Papadux is going to go ahead and stack up on potions, I'd assume, and then we will likely see him go get that slab and then start the translation loop.
And then it'll be a mad dash for the end of the game. Peasants really close to being full-on go mode, but is not quite there yet. The ruse stick going to be fairly nice for Papadux here, as with that solo party member, that is free ruse and very quick turns. But he's deciding to not take it.
Yep, he wants speed and power. He is not going to focus on evasion. He's just going to focus on killing what's in front of him. Meanwhile, Wildham, with that solo party member wielding that Masa, is getting all of the EXP.
Almost 10,000 EXP per battle, has almost caught up to Papadux's level on the bird. And if I know Wildham as well as I'd like to think I do, this should be at level 35, 36, and then done.
He's not targeting a level 42 like a vanilla black belt to get that max or that solid hit and max MDef. He's just targeting enough hits and enough damage to go. And
all right,
be finally promoting.
It's level 29 for Wild Ham, as Papa Ducks is running through the waterfall.
Those arachnids appear to be deadly.
Looks like it. A little unfortunate there for Peasants, but we'll see if he's able to make it out of this encounter.
He definitely has life casts available. There is life in battle, only level 1, but I'm assuming, yeah, they just get rid of all the enemies and then do full life 2 out of combat, bring the party fully up to speed.
That's level 29 for Papa Ducks. We'll see where Wild Ham is, as that bird's getting 6 hits with the Mazza. Level 34 already as it stands.
Seeing the full power of a Masa +3 and a solo grind, that's 6 hits for 1,000 damage.
This bird is going to the moon! Oh, he's going until he either gets wiped out or probably hits 48.
Blink and you miss it. Peasants taking care of Lich, High Lich, Bio Lich, and Earth Lord Lit. That is a orb apiece for all runners, and 1 up on that for Wild Ham with both the Earth and the Fire Orb Lit. Peasants on his way immediately to face the carry down at the bottom of the volcano, as Papadox is slab in hand and on his way out of the waterfall. I did not see if he picked up the fast shirt or not.
I do believe he left the fast shirt behind, but he is level 31 now. Wild Ham, though, sitting at level 40. This is definitely a massively powerful Chocobo.
Yeah, that was 7 hits on that final swing, and it looks like he's just gonna drop it to 1 and then fight until the heat kills him.
Alright, looks like he is gonna get into an encounter and bounce on out of here. Maybe.
Yeah, he's just gonna try and use this encounter to kill, although that high level means high evasion. And there
it goes.
Free warp, free party res, and Wild Ham is on his way out.
Peasants almost to carry. Papa Ducks heading in to Sea Shrine.
Taking that proximity play after picking up the slab at a waterfall, does not want to have to come back to on-rack ever again. Meanwhile, Peasants is on carry floor and about to fight the Fire Fiend.
And there is the slab for Herbie B. Papa Ducks just taking the encounters as he's just running through. That's level 34 already on the Chocobo. Great question from Catnip about what Papa Ducks is looking for. The answer, nothing. EXP. He's going full speed and power, and with how the Chocobo works and its hit percent cap being almost 200 at level 50, that fast shirt's not really necessary.
That is very true. Peasants done with that fiend fire, or the firefight is down to Lefane. Gonna go ahead and get that slab translated, or has the slab transferred already. Gonna go ahead and get the cube and be in immediate proximity for both the skydive and then a run over to on-rack for the sea dive. It just kind of seems to be working out for him. Meanwhile, Herbie B is on the on-rack continent, also going down to face Kraken. Ooh, Papadox is bounced out.
Yeah, that's the danger of running a solo party member, is the high damage encounters like the Ghosts or the Sentry in Sky, or even the fabled Warmac can easily take down just a solo party member.
And Wild Ham is following up, is on the on-rack continent, going to get the slab out of waterfall, as Herbie B in almost to the Sharknado floor, now on it. And looks like Peasants taking advantage of the Lefanian Superstore, going to pick up some magic for his party members with those 2 sages.
All right, Papa Ducks. About to be on what I like to call the greed floor here for C.
And Herbie B falling to the Death Lobsters. 3 of his party members down. His one solo party member may have a Masa, but I don't know how well it'll do against Kraken. Kraken.
We're soon to find out as Peasants enters Sky. Currently running through.
Sky can be a very fast run. Interesting, Papadoc's actually taking the look to see what the spike tile is. Quick kill on a blue D, that's some good experience, and is going to take it. He just wants to get as much experience as he can before taking on Kraken. 8 hits already, 11, or over 100 or over 1,000 damage.
For 10,000 EXP at that. So this could potentially put Papa Ducks into a very good spot going into Topher.
I expect he is going to be healing up before his next encounter. At 275, that is, yep, immediately heals up before getting into out of the room. And we see Kraken for Herbie B solo, gets the swing at 131 hit points. This is a level, 15 or 16 party member going solo. 418, getting good hits in. Ice 2 brings him down to 58 hit points on a knee. Gets another swing out, 317, and he managed to solo Kraken.
Very, very well done.
And that is our Water Orb lit for the first time by Herbie B, bringing him up to 2 along with Wildham and Peasants. Meanwhile, Peasants on to the Stacey's Gambit floor of Sky, going into the Sky Maze, and Papadoc's healing back up yet again on his way to face Kraken on Kraken's floor. Do we get a War Mech for Peasants?
That is the question as Papa Ducks pulls Kraken. This is going to be a relatively quick fight. Fire 2 coming out from Kraken. Punch! 8 hits for 851. That's it for Kraken. That is the second orb lit for Ducks as Peasants on the Bridge of Destiny heading towards TO1.
Papadoc's definitely stacking back up on those those heal pods as he's on his way. Most likely from here to, if he hasn't already translated, he's probably going to go take Earth, translate the slab, and then do the Lefane run.
Yeah, I don't think he has translated it because he went straight from Waterfall to Sea Shrine.
In that case, I would say it would be the Earth to translate to Lefane to Sky. Meanwhile, Herbie B is actually in Ordeals as Peasants finishes up a fight on the Bridge of Destiny. Another Red Hydra encounter. Still haven't seen a War Mech. Fingers crossed.
Ducks landing outside of Earth Cave dives right in as Wildham approaches the one, the only, the doom of the sea itself, the Kraken, and is going to double fast the Chocobo. 22 hits for 2,564 damage.
Super swole Masa with fast equals kill, and ooh, Peasants trying to brack strats. Cheeky on Tia, doesn't get it.
That wasn't the Mazda that was hitting for 22 times. That was straight up punch. Those were fists.
Oh, Jeebus Lord. And that is a kill on Tiamat for Peasant. That is the Air Orb lit. He only has Kraken to kill, and so far we've seen all of our other racers on stream get that kill. We know what C has in store from him, and it should not be that big of an issue with his party as is.
Indeed.
Course,
now, I haven't been keeping count of how many bats Papa Ducks has sliced in twain.
Unfortunately, the vampire does not count, so he still has to get potentially a few more, but this should not be too far out of the way for him.
You know, that was only 10 hits for 1611. That was a small amount of hits.
Wildham translating the slab as Peasants makes his way into the Sea Shrine. And Herbie B finally making his way to the desert to pop open the floater and get into the skies. Has done quite a bit of navigation minus that airship. Jeebus War. In fact, I do believe if there was the desert or the dock below the desert, you could do this entire seed floaterless.
Yes, this seed is one of those that could be done floaterless. All right. Papa Duck's pulling in to Kraken's lair. And blinking, you miss it. 10 hits, 17, 16.
Who needs a Masa when you have Bird? Apply Bird directly to forehead.
And just as we expected, it's going to be slab translation. Grab that cube, head into sky.
Peasants witnessing the deadliness of the lobsters, loses one party member and then escapes, uses that life 2 cast to get it back up and continues on. And that was that steel armor in inventory? Or is that for sale? Either way. No, picks up the pro ring, doesn't bother with steel armor. Even if it could use it, he doesn't seem to need it. Wildham on his way out of Lefane has full access to Sky. Gonna go ahead and check out either pick up. Yep, he's gonna pick up some magic out of Gaia.
Papa Doc's gonna run to grab that cube and head straight into the Sky Cave.
Herbie B doing the exact same thing, it seems, as Wildham lands by the desert to go into Sky himself. It seems like our racers are converging somewhat, but in reality, they're still very divergent. There is not a single racer who's truly in lockstep with another on stream, and that is very enjoyable for us. Hey, there's a Kraken.
There's a what?
A fire-splitting, or spitting, sword-wielding sea creature that's gonna be bracked? Nah, brack misses, unfortunately.
No, broken into pieces. Second brack? Ineffective. Third brack? Broken into pizzas.
It's worth losing AAAA for a brack kill on Kraken, wouldn't you say? And that is 4 orbs for peasants. That is full go mode.
And now it is time for everybody's favorite segment, the Great Equalizer.
How brutal is Topher?
Peasants first runner on stream to be ready to head into Topher. It's, of course, the big question of how bad is this Topher going to look and where are we going from there?
As Waldham goes into Sky, Mirage climbing for BB. I do want to note, this is a tournament, this is a team event, and we do have some standings. Right now, in the lead of the standings is the Leftovers with 126 points, Trash Island Fire Department with 120, the Series of Unfortunate Wombats at 117, and Melmond Maple Thieves with 115. Now, 115 and 117 for the Wombats and Maple Thieves, that's pretty long shot, but hey, anything's possible.
Anything absolutely is possible. So we just have to wait and see how everything plays out. Now, this is a very, very big race to determine who goes in to the semifinals.
Wildham stamping his mark on Tia's face, getting out of Sky and getting into go mode as Peasants pops the plate and goes into the past. How will this bird deal with the dragon? Punch. Dead.
1305, that's pretty good. Peasants into Topher meets my good friend Jim. I mean, the Chimera.
A Topher exclusive entity that is more often than not ran from, sadly enough.
I mean, Chimeras in and of themselves are worth a massive amount of EXP, so you can definitely get some good stuff done with fighting them.
Papadoc's breaking through that black orb in his way to Topher itself as Peasants is about to pull Lich 2. Do we have a hello goodbye? Pulling some nukes, doing some damage. 218, another nuke comes out. 360, that is a thin old Lich.
That's a very thin Lich. 578 damage dealt, and that Lich just fell.
It looks like that Lich was actually weaker 2,000 years ago than he was in the first encounter.
Very much so. Now the question is, how will Carry 2 look?
Beautiful snake lady, but that's her outer appearance. We don't know how she is inwardly. She will make herself known.
Very much so, as Peasants pulls Carry. Wait, fast, nuke, and of course a swing from BBBB.
AAAA has been taking a lot of dirt naps, but doing his job as a blade of meat shield to keep BBBB and CCCC and DDDD up. And, oh wait, Herbie in Sky dealing with a Tia as well.
As Wildham is heading to Lich's floor right now. Definitely got a tight race between Papa Ducks and Wildham.
Will that solo party member of Papadox make it up with its high damage output level and the like? Or will the four-man party with the Blade of Meat Shield action and nuke casting win it out for Peasants? Or will both of our racers wipe and give Wildham a chance to take the lead? Because he also has an absurdly overpowered bird.
We're soon to find out, as Carry 2 is pulled 11 hits for 1822. That's it for Carry 2. Wait fast or wait swing. Trying to decide. Fast and Invis 2. Fast is going to go out onto BBBB. BBBB swings. 7 hits for 545 damage.
Fire 2 just doing some tickling. Evasion stacks come out with that Invis 2. Wait, swing, nuke it looks like. Gets another swing out. Had 500 before. 327 that time is enough to do it. And that is Kraken 2 down. Peasants on his way to Tia's floor. The last fiend. And ooh, Papa Doc wipes out to that C-Pack.
And there is the ultimate risk-reward factor coming into play here with the solo party member.
Oh dear lord, that Tia 2 just went down to 3,200 damage for Wildham. He truly could catch up depending on how crazy this Tia 2 is.
Yeah, there's a big possibility. I mean, you don't underestimate the power of a bird. Tia 2 does take down AAAA, but BBBB swinging that Mazda, fasted up, takes down Tia 2. It is time to see exactly what Chaos holds.
Brings back the Blade of Meat Shield, uses some heal charges to get the party up to full, and begins the combat.
And here we go. Fast going out and Temper going out. Temper does take initiative. Swing onto BBBB. But BBB strikes back. 3 hits for 213. And there goes the fast. Heal pot strats coming out as more Tempers are going to be used. And I believe that was an accidental warp cast from Peasants. 5 hits for 488. 2 hits for 249. Dropping CCCC down to a knee. But it doesn't matter. More Temper. 2 hits, 250. Dropping slot 4 down to a knee. Here we go. 5 hits, 717. This Chaos should be somewhat close to dying. Nuke comes out 145. Ink's going to come out. Hitting the Maza Wielder. Maza Wielder swings. 3 hits for 587. Terminated!
Get your GGs in chat for Peasants. OMG, our first racer finishing over on stream, second race finisher overall. Meanwhile, Wildham blasting his way through chaos, proving the power of the big ass buff bird, getting that kill, third overall, second on stream. GGs.
Very, very close between Peasants and Wildham. Definitely get your GGs out for both of them, as that was extremely, extremely well played by both of the runners.
And the way the finishing and the points work, they were so close, they actually pick up the same points for their teams. And we are joined in the booth by Peasants. GG.
GGs, thank you.
Peasants, tried and true, stick with the Mazda, right?
It's so good. +3.
Now, I do need to ask you, did you have any temptation towards taking the bird?
Considered it. Like, I do like Chocobo like a lot, but I don't know, just Thief Fighter, Double Scullo, just it's so standard and so safe.
For sure. And we are also joined by our second place finisher on stream, third overall, good friend of mine, Wild Ham. GG's, my friend.
GG's, thank you.
GG.
That grind on the eye really paying out in the end, yeah?
Oh yeah.
I gotta admit, Ham, I liked that play of using the damage tiles and ice to finish off the rest of the party prior to hitting that eye grind running. That was massive.
Yeah, it's very convenient when you get you find your grind near or like also in Volcano, just go much quicker because you know the eye doesn't hit that hard usually, so it's hard to down your party.
That is so true. Papa Ducks, 12 hits, 1780, getting through Tia 2, soon to be on to Chaos.
This proves just how badly a single wipe can hurt. He was in the lead, but that one try puts him behind. Both you, Wildham, and Peasants. Seeing the power of that solo character, though. 1,000 hits. There you go. 2 hits down. I believe that was about how many it took you, Wildham.
Yeah, I think I got it in one hit.
Yeah, you got... Ham got the one hit with the fasted Black Chocobo. That was so much damage to see.
GG's in stream for all, or in chat for Papa Docs. Third in the stream, 5th overall.
Papa Ducks, welcome into the booth. I gotta ask you, why'd you go with the solo bird, my friend?
For
whoever had the punch ability and a caster. And I was mainly using the caster just to get early levels. But when I tried it out with a solo black belt or a solo punch, whatever, and the starting caster item, I was getting to level 15 before I ever hit Marsh. So like, that's good enough. I don't need this second caster. So I just gave it a try. I got my fastest time in all my practices with the solo.
That's fair.
Definitely made it work, but those lobsters, they hurt.
I think well, first of all, my biggest mistake was fading Marsh for so long, because that ended up leading to the canoe, and I ended up jumping all around the map looking for the canoe, and it was in Marsh the whole the Adamant was in Marsh, and then the canoe was in Dwarfs. But then when I got to Topher, I had more trouble running than I expected. That was unfortunate, because the Chocobo had decent luck. I almost took a second wipe against a pack of waters that I couldn't run from for 4 turns straight.
Yeah, those waters almost gave you the business. Now, I imagine that there were some words had when you took that wipe here on Kraken's floor.
I just kind of closed my eyes when I saw the ambush. because I didn't heal up after carry. So I was only about 500 HP or so. I had a feeling I was going down.
That makes sense, my friend. All right, Herbie B, making quick work here, is on Kraken's floor, soon to be fighting Kraken. Now, pretty much all of these fiends here in Topher really weren't too terribly bad. You know, you all kind of blew through them, except for Tia 2, which took you a little bit of time, peasants, but not too terribly much as a whole.
Yeah, I think it took me, what was it, 3 hits instead of the 2. I think maybe I can't remember. It was pretty minimal.
Yeah.
The not hitting as hard as a Chocobo, but a Mazza plus 3 is pretty good, so it wasn't too stressed.
Yeah, I can't really be upset about a Mazda plus 3, that's for sure. And that was my other question for you, Ducks. You saw that Mazda plus 3 early, and you just decided to abandon it.
Yeah.
Were there any regrets on not taking it later on?
No. I was comfortable with where I was at. I think I was around level 17 or 18. I was at 6 hits. It wasn't worth making room in my inventory for it.
That's fair.
Herbie B down past Kraken 2 on his way to Tia 2, really looking to finish it up. Let's see how Tia handles getting hit.
Now this fight could go very quickly or take a little bit of time. We'll find out which way it goes.
Fast and Temper land, Roost Stick up. Chug doing some chip damage. Trying to fast up Chug just in case. Gets a nuke out. Lit 2 does not take Chug down. Chug has a chance to actually do something, but I assume that Herb is going to do a lot more. Already fasted, already tempered, and swing the big stick. Gets the kill. Ooh, only. I thought that would kill him, but this is a rather thick Tia at this point. Fade coming out, not using a nuke charge, using Fade instead. Fire 3 does chase Chug out. Doesn't finish off any other party members. Saves him some life charges. There goes Fade, and that goes Tia 2 down. Gonna bring Chuck back up. Oop, it's just gonna. Oh, there you go. Gonna risk it.
Yeah,
Decides not to.
Not bringing the Chocobo up could be considered a little risky, but in this case, there were 3 party members up. I think it's worth the risk just to try to finish out the run. But it is time for Chaos. Gonna do a punch, a Roost Stick, and a fast and temper, but the temper's not gonna go out.
Gets good damage out of Chug. 600 damage in that punch. Chaos going after those casters, not getting many buffs out, so it's swings and punches at this point to get the end. Goes with a Ruse cast to try and stack evasion, or did he switch back to a straight punch?
And here we
Saber
go.
Bonk.
4 hits. Gonna get a crit in that. I believe that was 134. It probably has Chaos on a knee, another 128. Ink's gonna come out. Gonna miss the Mazza Wielder, but hit the Chocobo. Chocobo is actually doing quite a bit more damage than the Mazza Wielder right now. But unfortunately, it is now dead. But 7 hits for 732 is gonna seal the deal for Herbie B, finishing with an official race time GG time of 1 hour and 16 seconds.
GG's to Herbie B in chat. Meanwhile, that is the end for the race. It looks like our 10th racer overall, Dusk Plume, decided to forfeit the race. Man, that was a good fight. Good race from all of our racers. GG's all.
Yes, you all played extremely well.
And joining us in the booth right now is Herbie B. GG's.
That's who I thought jumped in the booth. GG's, Herbie.
Thanks. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. GG's, everybody.
GG.
You know, you all played extremely well. And Herbie, I actually appreciate you going the hybrid damage with having the bird as well as the Maza wielder. That definitely paid off for you a lot there in the chaos fight, as both of your sages went down turn 1 and turn 2, so you were just stuck with your Maza wielder and the bird.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure. I mean, I almost thought about just, even going fighter and then all the mages, but then, the combination of the punching, but then also the luck and ability to run. So that's why I kind of, and I don't know. I think the chocobo just kind of looks cool running around, right? It's kind of a cool and different thing to do.
Indeed it is, and I mean, the chocobo in and of itself, it can definitely show off a lot of power, as we have seen throughout this week, which really is unsurprising. I mean, we saw Wild Ham do well over 2,000 damage consistently. Granted, that chocobo was, what, mid-40s, Wild Ham? Or was it 42? I don't remember.
Yeah, it got to 42, yeah.
Okay. And then Peasants, of course, went double melee. Didn't choose the bird, though, for either of the melees. And two sages, it was basically your standard fighter thief. And then double sage, which always plays extremely well. Papa Dux was the odd man out, though, running the solo chocobo, which I approve, even still.
It really
It's a
wasn't
bold
a
move.
bad choice.
It is a bold move, but it
Seems like it worked.
it did some work. It did a lot of work. And the fact that you guys started off with that Quake Stake as well, that was huge.
I did not use mine once.
Yeah, my one fear of going solo punch is starting with a zap stick. That's my biggest fear when doing that.
I mean, early on, a Zapstick, even by itself, isn't too terribly bad. Yes, the accuracy on Zap is quite a bit lower, but I wouldn't say it's super detrimental.
Oh, it's not game over or anything, but it definitely adds time. Extra rounds of fights. And...
I got the glitch where you when you promote with tail, you just walk backwards for the entire seed, and it's actually extremely distracting. I'm not sure if anyone noticed.
So I thought you had backwards Batman, not the reverse walking glitch. That's even better.
I think it's you put a direction. If you're holding a direction when you promote as maybe as thief. I don't know. I've only ever got it as the ninja. But I was walking backwards, and it actually made talking to the bats really really confusing.
That is absolutely fair.
If you don't have it by choice, I can imagine it just being that much more distracting.
It was more surprising. I got really confused like immediately, and I was like, "All right, I've glitched the game."
So, we've come to the end of week 4. We knew that we had 3 teams going into the semis. Now, are you all ready for the final team going into the semifinals?
I'm ready.
The team that's going into the semifinals would be the leftovers. So, Papa Ducks, you clinched out getting into the semis for your team.
Yeah, looking forward to playing another week.
I mean, to be fair, we might be playing each other. Former teammates, soon to be racing each other.
I'm not holding back.
Oh, I know you're not, and I'm not either. You've seen how I've been playing
Yeah,
the last couple
you're on
weeks.
your game lately. You're on your game lately.
It took me a bit, but yeah, I definitely have been. Peasants, Wild Ham, Herbie. You all definitely played extremely well, though, in this league, and I would say overall, it's been fun so far. How are you guys feeling, even though you aren't moving on?
Yeah, it's been a great tournament. It's been I really liked basically all of the flags. Didn't like Proc Gen, but that's only because I really sucked at it. But it's been great playing with my friends. You know, two of them are like really new to the game, and they like have done it extremely well. So I think we only just missed out on semis. So I mean, like, it's hard to be mad at that. It's been really, really fun.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but all four of you came in from the FE community, if I'm not mistaken.
We did, yeah. Me and Wu both came in. We were 2v2 partners, and then we both won the Duckling. And so Charlie and Sorbs were like, yeah, we'll play too.
I can definitely see that being a thing. I mean, even after you won the Duckling Derby, you've still been a force to be reckoned with.
I've had a little bit less time to play now, but like I was like really grinding during then. But I think next solo tournament or something, I'll put the hours in.
I hope to face you in the winter tournament because I very well may be signing up for that.
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
Wild Ham, your thoughts on the flag sets, how much you've enjoyed the league, etc.
Yeah, this was fun. It was it was a bit less chaotic than last year. Last year was really crazy, but I guess we got the chance to see a lot of let's say a lot of really not flagged iron use often. So that was very fun, and yeah, now I'm going to be watching from the sideline.
Well, I hope you definitely enjoy how this league ends. Herbie, it's all yours on the exact same set of questions.
Sure. This was a lot of fun, right? This whole tournament here, right? I felt like, this was, more random than a normal random seed, right? There was very different things. I had actually never done. I had done a little bit of practice, but this was my first Transmoog seed that I actually completed and ran. But a lot of the proc gen and the weaponizer, and it's just been a really kind of great experience. It's been the team aspect has been fun. Like, we're all just kind of cheering each other on and trying to see what happens week to week. So I mean, I've had a blast. And I'll certainly be cheering from the sidelines here for the next couple weeks.
That is fair. And Ducks, for these first 4 weeks, what have your thoughts been on the flags and just the entirety of the league?
Oh, I've enjoyed it. I think Fall League's the perfect opportunity to showcase some of these flags that we don't use a whole lot in our singles events. And it's been fun playing through them.
And one of these days, we got to get the gang back together and definitely see how far we can get again.
I'm down.
But I think I've got all my questions asked. Thavian, you got any extra questions you want to add in?
No, honestly, you've taken a pretty solid turn at it. My one question, though, is, Herbie, when did you realize that you didn't actually need the floater?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it still made it easier, but it's just, I don't know. I still kind of felt that I wanted it, so I guess the short answer is I didn't really realize that. I was kind of running around.
Yeah, it was an interesting to realize as you were so late to get it that the racers didn't need it, but yeah, it's always nice to have.
So I believe with that, we'll move on to final thoughts, and we'll start off with you, Peasants, placing first on Restream, second overall. What are your final thoughts, my friend?
On this race particularly, it was great. It was good. Transmoog's always very fun. I've only done a couple seeds, and they were quite a while ago. But yeah, it's always like fun to have like just the seed change so drastically. Other randomizers can't really get away with doing it without feeling too janky, but I don't know. I think Transmoog, whilst janky might be a good way to describe it, it's a lot of fun though. It's good, and a good race. It was a good tournament. Thank you for the restream and everything.
I mean, thank you for being on Restream. Wild Ham, final thoughts, my friend?
No, it went well. I'm happy with how the race went, and just GG to everyone. Good game.
All right. We'll move on to you, Ducks. If you have...
Sorry,
final
my
thoughts.
mic was muted.
All good, dude.
Just want to say good games to everybody that raced. Everybody that's still in, good luck the next few weeks. Thanks to RPG Limit Break for hosting us again, and thanks to you guys, and looking forward to next time.
And last but most certainly not least, Herbie. Final thoughts, my friend.
Sure, just want to kind of reiterate what everyone else has said, right? Good luck to all the racers who are continuing along, and thanks to everyone who's the channel and the Discord and everyone who's supporting this. Every single one of these races, there's a whole team behind it supporting every single one of it. So it's just it's great to be a part of this. So good luck to everybody.
Davion, you got any final thoughts, my friend?
Just watching this race broke my brain. I will never be able to play this flag set. Good job, y'all.
Transmuglifier is not an easy flag set because of how drastically some of the classes can change. And I say that having played it myself. It was an extremely good race, and it was an absolute honor to be able to commentate for each of you. If you have not been keeping up with Fall League, the 4 teams going into the semifinals are the Temple of Friends Revisited, consisting of Shumbobby, Chanigan, Luffy DV, as well as Pickles and Beer. FF Rando, consisting of Phoenix, Budgemano, ADR, and somebody I'm pretty sure we all know by the name of Ailmarkin. The Super Lupa Alphabetters. Oh my gosh, I had trouble saying my own team's name. Consisting of Sir Linkalot, Guardian Marcus, Rojo, and myself. And the leftovers, which are my very good friend Papa Ducks, also a fellow teammate for past years, Goats Pirate, Ikir, and Solario Rex. The first race of the semifinals for the Fall League will be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to get an announcement for that, jump into the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord server, grab yourself the spectator role, and come join the streams. Enjoy yourself some good entertainment. The flags for next week are a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to run them. Definitely be sure to give RPG Limit Break a follow, as well as our runners a follow, and the other people with me here in the booth a follow. It's always appreciated, and we thank you for it. If you catch this on YouTube, you can join the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord. That would be on finalfantasyrandomizer.com. We have a link to the Discord there on the site, and you can come in, learn how to play the game, and end up being here on Restream. But with that, I do believe we're going to give RPG Limit Break their channel back. So on behalf of our runners, we had Peasants, Wild Ham, Papa Ducks, and Herbie B. Our trackers, do not get enough thanks for my opinion. Reckless Charlie and Socket, always amazing to have both of you tracking. My co-commentator, whom I always love being in the booth in, Thavian Hawk. I appreciate you jumping in with me, basically last minute there, friend. Always a pleasure to do commentary with you.
Likewise.
I am Sonny Wrath 11. We'll see you tomorrow for the start of the semifinals for the Final Fantasy Randomizer Fall League. It leagued from beyond. Keep the power of those orbs alive and have a good night, a good day, a good afternoon.